In the heart of the late 19th century, a young boy faced a harsh reality. An orphan with no safety net, no guiding hand. But where others saw despair, he found resilience. This boy would one day rewrite the story of time itself, transforming a simple wristwatch into a symbol of precision, luxury, and ambition. How did he rise from such humble beginnings to revolutionize the world of horology? Let's uncover his story. A childhood marked by loss. Hans Wilsdorf's story began on March 22, 1881, in the quaint German town of Kumbach. Born into a moderately successful family, Hans was the second of 3 children in a household led by Johann Daniel Wilsdorf and Anna Wilsdorf. The family's business provided them with a comfortable life, but their happiness was short-lived. In 1892, Hans's mother passed away suddenly, an event that shattered the stability of his young life. Just a year later, tragedy struck again with the death of his father, leaving Hans and his siblings orphaned. At the tender age of 12, Hans was forced to navigate a world devoid of parental love and security. His uncles, Anna's brothers, took charge of the children, ensuring they had access to a quality education. Hans was sent to Ernestonum Coburg, a prestigious boarding school in Bavaria. However, the transition was far from smooth. He was ostracized by his peers due to his religion and struggled to adjust to his new environment. Yet, even in these difficult times, Hans began to develop traits that would define him later in life: self-reliance, resilience, and an unyielding determination to succeed. An early spark of curiosity. Hans was a bright and curious student, excelling in mathematics and languages. Among his peers, his knack for French and English stood out, skills that would later prove invaluable. But what truly ignited Hans's imagination was the stories shared by a school friend from Switzerland. This friend spoke with fervour about La Chaux-de-Fonds, a Swiss city renowned for its watchmaking heritage. To Hans, these tales were more than mere stories. They were a window into a fascinating world of craftsmanship and precision. Unbeknownst to him, this early fascination would shape the course of his life. By the time Hans completed his education, he was ready to chart his own path. Armed with ambition and the skills he had honed in school, he set out into the world, determined to make something of himself. Finding his footing. At 19, Hans secured a position as an apprentice at an international pearl exporting company. This role introduced him to the fundamentals of business, from logistics to international trade. While the job provided a steady income, Hans longed for something more fulfilling. He soon moved to Geneva, Switzerland, a city that had captivated his imagination since his school days. In Geneva, Hans joined Kuno Kotan, a prominent watchmaking firm. Here, he worked as an English correspondent and clerk, winding pocket watches and observing the intricacies of their design. Though this was a modest beginning, Hans absorbed every detail, learning the nuances of watchmaking and gaining insights into the industry. His time at Kuno Kotan was invaluable, but it was cut short when Hans was called back to Germany to fulfill his mandatory military service, building a foundation. After completing his military duties, Hans returned to the world of watches, this time in London. He joined another reputable watchmaking company, where his responsibilities expanded. Hans's fluency in English and French, combined with his business acumen, allowed him to play a pivotal role in expanding the company's sales. During this period, Hans met Florence Frances May Crotty, a woman who would become his lifelong partner. Their marriage marked a turning point in Hans's life, giving him the emotional support and stability he needed to pursue his ambitions. But Hans was not content working for others. He had a vision, a dream of creating something extraordinary. This dream began to take shape when he confided in his brother-in-law, Alfred James Davis. The birth of Wilsdorf and Davis. In 1905, Hans and Alfred pooled their resources to establish Wilsdorf and Davis Limited in London. Alfred, a seasoned businessman, believed in Hans's vision and provided the financial backing necessary to get the venture off the ground. The company partnered with Hermann Egler, a Swiss watchmaker known for producing high-quality movements. These movements were imported to England, where Wilsdorf and Davis assembled them into watches. Hans's goal was clear: to create wristwatches that were as reliable and precise as pocket watches. At a time when wristwatches were often dismissed as fragile and inaccurate, this was a revolutionary idea. In 1908, Hans registered the name Rolex as a trademark, marking the beginning of a new chapter in his journey. Rolex takes shape. Hans believed that wristwatches were the future, and he was determined to make Rolex a symbol of quality and reliability. His relentless pursuit of perfection paid off in 1914, when Rolex earned the first ever wristwatch chronometer rating from Switzerland. This was followed by a Class A certificate of precision from London's Kew Observatory, solidifying Rolex's reputation as a trustworthy brand. World War I, however, brought new challenges. The British government imposed a 33% tax on exports, and anti-German sentiment was on the rise. To navigate these obstacles, Hans made a bold decision. He relocated Rolex's headquarters from London to Biel, Switzerland in 1915. This move not only shielded the company from exorbitant taxes, but also placed it closer to Switzerland's renowned watchmaking industry. It was during this time that the company officially adopted the name Rolex Watch Corporation Limited. A new beginning in Geneva. In 1919, Hans moved Rolex's main office to Geneva, a city synonymous with luxury and craftsmanship. The company's operations were split between Biel and Geneva. Watch movements were manufactured in Biel and transported to Geneva, where they underwent meticulous finishing and verification. Hans's vision for Rolex extended beyond technical excellence. He wanted the brand to embody elegance, innovation, and reliability. Under his leadership, Rolex introduced groundbreaking features like the waterproof oyster case and the self-winding perpetual movement. These innovations set Rolex apart, establishing it as a leader in the watchmaking industry. By the 1920s, Rolex wristwatches were no longer seen as novelties. They were symbols of precision and sophistication. The birth of innovation. Hans Wilsdorf's relentless drive to push the boundaries of watchmaking culminated in 1926 with the creation of the Rolex Oyster, the world's first waterproof wristwatch. This groundbreaking invention not only set Rolex apart from competitors, but also redefined what wristwatches could achieve. The Oyster's tightly sealed case protected the watch's mechanisms from water, dust, and debris, solving a common problem of the time. For Hans, this was more than just a technical milestone. It was an opportunity to demonstrate the practicality and reliability of his watches. Hans's genius didn't stop at innovation. His marketing acumen was just as revolutionary. In 1927, he turned a publicity stunt into a marketing masterstroke. Mercedes Gleitzer, a swimmer attempting to cross the English Channel, agreed to wear a Rolex Oyster around her neck during the swim. Although her attempt was not entirely successful, the watch emerged unscathed, its precision and performance intact. Hans immediately seized the moment, placing an advertisement in the London Daily Mail to showcase the Oyster's durability. This clever move thrust Rolex into the global spotlight. To further cement the Oyster's reputation, Hans devised another ingenious strategy. He displayed Rolex Oysters in fish bowls filled with live fish in the windows of authorized dealerships. These eye-catching displays captivated onlookers and reinforced the brand's claim of unmatched water resistance. The genius of marketing. Hans Wilsdorf's ability to blend technical innovation with creative marketing became the foundation of Rolex's enduring legacy. In 1928, he partnered with Evelyn Lane, one of the most prominent British models of the era, to promote Rolex watches. Evelyn was famously photographed wearing a Rolex inside a fishbowl, continuing the theme of showcasing the watch's water resistance. In 1933, Rolex gained further prestige when its watches were worn by the crew of an expedition attempting to fly over Mount Everest. The extreme conditions of high altitudes, freezing temperatures, and low pressure tested the watch's resilience, and they performed flawlessly. The endorsement from adventurers who relied on Rolex watches to survive such treacherous environments added credibility to the brand. Another noteworthy endorsement came in 1935 from Malcolm Campbell, a legendary race car driver who set a world speed record of nearly 300 miles per hour while wearing a Rolex. Campbell's association with Rolex underscored the brand's precision and reliability under extreme stress, solidifying its reputation among professionals and enthusiasts alike. New models, new heights. As the decades progressed, Rolex continued to innovate, introducing models that catered to specific needs while maintaining its commitment to quality and performance. In 1931, Rolex launched the Oyster Perpetual, a waterproof watch with a revolutionary self-winding mechanism. This eliminated the need to wind the watch manually, a feature that greatly appealed to busy professionals. In 1945, the Rolex Datejust became the first wristwatch to feature an automatically changing date displayed through a window on the dial. This innovation, paired with Rolex's trademark elegance, made the Datejust an instant classic. The 1950s marked a new era of exploration, and Rolex was at the forefront. In 1953, the company introduced the Submariner, a diving watch capable of withstanding depths of up to 330 feet. Its rotatable bezel allowed divers to track their underwater time precisely, setting the standard for diving watches. The Submariner became synonymous with adventure and endurance. Enduring excellence. The consistent quality and innovation of Rolex watches earned the brand an unrivaled reputation. Hans Wilsdorf's vision of creating timepieces that combined practicality, reliability, and elegance resonated with customers across the globe. Each Rolex model introduced during these decades carried forward the brand's legacy while addressing the needs of professionals in various fields. Even after Hans Wilsdorf's passing, his commitment to excellence and innovation remained deeply ingrained in the company's ethos. Rolex's enduring success can be traced back to Hans's unique ability to anticipate market needs and deliver solutions through technical ingenuity and marketing brilliance. Through decades of triumphs, challenges, and groundbreaking advancements, Rolex has remained a symbol of precision, reliability, and timeless elegance. A testament to the vision of the orphan boy who dared to dream big. If you found his story inspiring, don't forget to like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit the bell icon for more incredible stories of resilience and success. What part of Hans Wilsdorf's journey resonated most with you? Share your thoughts in the comments.